Friends, you must be familiar with the name Natya Shastra and its author Bharat Muni. As such, Natya Shastra is ascribed to Bharat Muni because we are not sure whether it was written by Bharat Muni or someone else, whether it was written by a single author or multiple authors. So let's try to focus about Natya Shastra, and as it is ascribed to Bharat Muni, we'll try to know about Bharat Muni. The Natya Shastra ascribed to Bharata or Bharat Muni, as he is called more often in our tradition, is one of the main sources of information on performing arts, namely dance, drama, and music in ancient India. The Indian tradition reveres it as a book of divine revelation. It also enjoys the unique status of a prescriptive law book, expounding the rules and regulations which govern the world of theatrical activity. Its mythic worldview and overall structure resemble the mythological compilations known as the Purans, which encompass within themselves the acts and activities, thoughts and feelings of humans and non-humans in all the three worlds, throughout the four ages of past, present, and future. To the Orthodox in India, thus, the Natya Shastra has the combined force and authority of the divinely revealed Shrutis, the sage expounded Smritis, and the broad-based popular tradition of Puran. Even a cursory reading of the text of Natya Shastra would show that this is the work neither of one man nor of one time. To the question, who was Bharata and when did he live? Many answers have been suggested. There is a history of 100 years or more of scholarship which has in part or full concentrated on the identity of Bharata, the person, his possible historicity, whether or not he represented a single person or a school of thought or a group of scholars, and whether the word Bharata is only an acronym or eponymous for the three syllables. Bha means bhav, Ra means raga, and Ta means tal. Most of the scholars hold the view that the Natya Shastra is not the work of a single author, not even a group of authors, a school of thought. Instead, they believe that the different chapters of the book were written by different people over a period of time. There is a broad consensus amongst the scholars that the date of composition of the Natya Shastra is somewhere between 2nd century BC to 2nd century AD. In the first chapter of Natya Shastra, Bharata describes a legendary divine origin for drama. At the beginning of Treta Yuga, there was a deterioration of moral among the people. Gramya dharme pravritte. They became addicted to sensual pleasures, were under the sway of desire and greed. Kam lobha vasham gate. Became affected with jealousy and anger. Irsha, Krodh, Adi, Sammudhe, and thus found their happiness mixed with sorrow. Loke sukhat dukhite. The gods with the great Indra as their head approached Lord Brahma and spoke to him. We want an object of diversion which must be both visible as well as audible. Kridaniyakam ichhamo drishyam shravyam cha yad bhavet. As the existing of Vedas are not to be listened to by those born as Shudras, be pleased to create another Veda which could be open to all sections of society, caste, creed or age holding no bar. The Creator God, Brahma, accepted the request and created Natya as the fifth Veda. Natya Veda. Borrowing Pathyam, recitative text from Rigveda, Gita, songs and music from Samaveda, Abhinaya, histrionic element from Yajurveda, and sentiments, rasa from Atharva Veda, Brahma created the Natya Veda, connected with the Vedas principal and subsidiary. Was created by the whole Brahma, who is omniscient. About the recitation being adopted from the Rigveda, it can be explained that Rigveda Samvad Sukta contains dialogue hymns. The dialogues in some cases clearly possess dramatic quality. For example, the dialogue between Pururvas and Urvashi, between Sarma and Panis, or between Yam and Yami, etc. Thus, the Samvad Sukta or the dialogue hymns of Rigveda served as a model, an inspiration, or a beginning for the formal drama. The ritual and sacrificial performances described in Yajurveda involve a number of symbolic acts which have to be carried out ritually, and they are a mimetic performance of an actual act or a happening or a symbol of its potential fruit. Like the ritual purchase of Soma from Soma seller, the stepping on a tiger's skin by the king during the performance of Rajasuya, or the exchange of abusive words between a brahmachari and herald in Mahabharata. The idea of acting modes, abhinaya, may therefore have acquired a direction and shape from watching ritual performances. And so, the Natya Veda is said to have derived abhinaya from Yajurveda. In contrast to the other three Vedas, the Atharva Veda is a Veda of the masses. It is not confined to religious or simple secular themes. It reflects the whole gamut of human emotions, both of a terrible and peaceful nature. Hence, rasa, or the emotional content and response of drama, may have been traced to this Veda. The position of Samved as a source of music is apparent. The Upavedas also were connected with Natya Veda. The Ayurveda found place in the Natya Shastra, primarily in the treatment of Vyabhichari Bhava. Certain diseases and their symptoms were taken and applied as characteristic symptoms of certain mental moods on the lines of Charaka and Sushruta. The Dhanurved was made use of in the representation of fights. The Gandharva Ved was used in the preliminaries and in the actual performance in the form of Dhruva songs and as an accompaniment to various movements. The Sthapatya Ved was necessary for the construction of the theatres. Thus, the fifth Veda on the Natya with the semi-historical tales, Itihas, was created by Brahma, which would conduce to duty, dharma, wealth, artha, as well as fame, would contain good counsel and collection of traditional maxims, would give guidance to people of the future as well in all their actions, would be enriched by the teaching of all authoritative works, and would give a review of all arts and crafts. The Natyaved then was handed over to Bharat Muni for its visual representation, as gods refused to accept it, as they were neither able to receive it and to maintain it, nor were they fit to understand it and to make use of it. They were unfit to do anything with the drama, and as Brahma had asked to pass on Natyaved to those of gods who were skillful, kushala, learned, vidakt, bold in speech, pragalbha, and inured to hard work, jita shrava. Only the sages were capable of maintaining and putting it into practice, as they knew the mystery of Vedas and had fulfilled their vows. Bharat was not simply a great scholar or merely an author of Natya Shastra, but he was a performer par excellence. He himself performed, practically showed whatever he had written in Natya Shastra. So, as Natya Shastra tells us, Bharat arranged a performance with his 100 sons, in which the three styles of dramatic action, Bharati, verbal, Satvati, grand, and Arbhati, energetic, were employed. Brahma asked him to employ Kaishiki Vritti, which is graceful, which was appropriate to the erotic sentiment, Shringara Ras, which required beautiful dresses and was endowed with gentle angahar and had sentiments, rasa, states, power, and action, kriya, as its soul. As this style could not be practiced properly by men except with the help of women, Brahma created from his mind nymphs who were skillful in embellishing the drama, Natya Alankara Chaturaha, and gave them to Bharat Muni for helping him in the performance. Not only that, Brahma also employed Swati Muni together with his disciples to play on musical instruments, drums, and celestial musicians, Gandharva, such as Narad and others were engaged in singing songs. Thus, the theme of this performance was drawn from myth, the victory of gods over the demons. Bharat performed Purvarang and Nandi first, and then presented the dramatic spectacle as Anukruti, that is, by mimetic acting, representing an altercation and tumult and mutual cutting off and piercing of limbs or bodies. Lord Brahma and other gods were pleased with the performance and gave the performers all sorts of gifts as a token of joy that filled their mind. The demons disliked the performance, as it presented the story of the defeat of demons by gods, and they created trouble. These troublemakers were beaten to death by Indra with Jarjar. Still, the remaining evil spirits began to create terror. Hence, The open air performance was shifted to the closed theatre. The nature of Natyaved was then explained by Brahma to pacify the demons, which in a way gives an idea about Bharata's concept of drama. Bharat says that the Natyaveda treats both the good and the evil, showing the good is rewarded and the evil punished. It takes into account acts and ideas of the demons as well as of the gods, as there is no exclusive representation in it of either of them. The Natya represents the life of gods, demons, kings, householders, and the great sages alike. We can summarize Bharata's idea on drama as follows on the basis of the above mythical origin of drama. Bharata's concept of Natya. It is Drushya Shravya Kridaniyaka, that is to say, audio-visual mode of entertainment. Its basic elements are Pathya, dialogue, Abhinay, four kinds of Abhinay, Angik, Vachik, Satvik and Aharya. That is to say, physical, verbal, emotional, actions and decor. C. Gaan, songs and D. Rasa. It is fifth Ved, which is Sarva Varanika. It is conducive to dharma, duty, artha, wealth, as well as yasha, fame. It contains good counsel and collection of traditional maxims. It is lokasya sarva karma anudarshakanam. It is sarva shastra sampanam, that is to say, enriched by the teaching of all the authoritative works, and sarva shilpa pradarshkanam, that is to say, review of all arts and crafts. It can be practiced by only those who are kushala, skillful, vidagdha, learned, pragalpa, bold in speech, and jitashramaha, inured to hard work, who are able to receive it, grahane, maintain it, dharane, who are fit to understand it, gnane, and are able to make use of it, prayoge, vasya sattama. It determines the good luck or ill luck of both gods and demons, and takes into account acts and ideas of demons as well as gods. In it, there is no exclusive representation of demons or gods, for drama is Trailokyasya asya sarvasya bhav anukirtanam, emotional representation of the three worlds. In it, sometimes there is reference to duty, sometimes to games, sometimes to money, sometimes to peace, and sometimes laughter is found in it, sometimes love making, and sometimes killing of lot people. It teaches duty to those who go against duty, love to those who are eager for its fulfillment, and it chastises those who are ill-bred or unruly, promotes self-restraint in those who are disciplined, gives courage to cowards, energy to heroic persons, enlightens man of poor intellect, and gives wisdom to learned. All these lay stress on the educative aspect of dramatic performances. It gives diversion to kings and firmness of mind to persons afflicted with sorrow, and hints of acquiring money to those who are earning it, and it brings composure to persons agitated in mind. It is rich in various emotions and depicts different situations. It is an imitation of actions and conducts of people. Lok vrittanukarannam. It relates to actions of men, good, bad, and indifferent, and gives courage, amusement, and happiness, as well as counsel to them all. It is instructive to all through actions and emotions depicted in it and through sentiments arising out of it. Rasa, bhava, sarva karma, kriya. It also gives relief to unlucky persons who are afflicted with sorrow and grief or overwork. It is conducive to observance of duty as well as to fame, long life, intellect, and general good. It educates people. There is no wise maxim, no learning, no art, nor craft, no device, no action that is not found in drama. It meets all the departments of knowledge and different arts and various actions. An imitation of the world with its 7 divisions has been made a rule of in drama. Stories taken out of Vedic lore as well as semi-historical tales so embellished that they are capable of giving pleasure in the world is called drama. An imitation of the exploits of gods, asuras, kings, as well as householders in this world is called drama. When the human nature with its joys and sorrows is depicted by the means of representation through various abhinayas like gestures, it is called drama. So friends, now you are familiar with Natya Ved, how it originated, who was the author of it, and under which circumstances it came into existence. Bharat has defined Natya as a kridaniyak, means a mode of entertainment. Is a kind of entertainment but a distinct, because it is both drishya and shravya. It can be seen as we see dance. It can be heard as we hear music. It's a combination of both, and that's why it's unique art. So, any drama, whether it is Indian or Western, whether it is ancient or contemporary, it has to be kridaniyaka. It must be entertaining. And secondly, it must have some visual aspect and some audio aspect. Like, we can see the actors' movements, we can see the decor on the stage, we can see the light effects, and at the same time, we hear the dialogues of the actor, we hear the background music, and we also hear some stage effects. So, it's a combination of all the elements. And that's why Bharat says that it's a mixture of all the arts existing on this earth. Now we will try to make a kind of comparison between what Bharat says and what Aristotle says, because we are more familiar with Aristotle rather than Bharat. See, Aristotle gives the concept of imitation. Bharat has also given the concept of imitation. Now, this imitation does not the photographic representation. It is not something which we copy. It is much more than that. Because Aristotle says, it is imaginative recreation. Bharat is also of the same opinion when he says that it is anukirtana. It is much broader than anukarana. Anukirtan means the universalized emotions, universalized actions are followed in drama. It is not merely personalized emotions or personalized actions. It is universalized. Sadharanikrit emotions and actions. So it pertains to one and all. And that's why Anukirtan word is more significant than the word Anukarana. So it's a reflection of the society. It's a reflection of our times. But it concerns each and every person. Even if you see any ancient play, you will find some similarity with the present times. In the same manner, it concerns or it presents the emotions, the actions of three words. But it has to do with our own emotions, our own actions. And that's why Bharat uses the word Anukirtana. It's following some kind of kirtana, Anukirtana. So it is near the word recreation, but imaginative. So it's through imagination the artist recreates this world. So we see that the scholars, the stalwarts, they think alike.